Thank you very much, Chief Justice. Good morning, DCJ.
Good morning, President.
Thank you very much for your comprehensive vision statement that you have shared with the Commission that gives valuable insight into the challenges that are facing the judiciary and how you intend addressing them. Just following up in regard to the issue pertaining to the capacitation of the Judicial Conduct Committee. You mentioned that an amendment to Section 8 of the Judicial Services Commission Act is underway in terms of increasing the number of members of the committee. My question is, once the number has been increased, and you also mentioned that more retired judges would be appointed on that committee. Would you be amenable to maybe using more or exclusively retired judges for purposes of the second committee of the JCC? You know, you correctly mentioned that the judiciary is overstretched because the workload has increased. Now, I know, because I have served in that committee, that in the appeal body, written decisions have to be given to the public. So it's as good as actually writing a judgment, which is a burden in itself. Would you be amenable to maybe asking only retired judges to participate in the appeal body, so that the time of the other members, because it's only senior members of the judiciary who serve in that committee, so that the time of these other members of other courts is freed for them to focus exclusively on the workload of their courts in terms of the writing of decisions. Would you be amenable to considering something like that, so that the sitting judges participate in the first committee, and then in the second committee, which is the appeal body, then only the retired judges should participate in that committee, so as to free the time of the judges the permanent judges, so that they can focus exclusively on the writing of judgments, not at the JCC, but only at their courts.
The committee is doing exactly that already, President. But as you know, disagreement may arise there too, and unfortunately, as things stand, not unfortunately, but we still have one sitting judge as a member in addition to me, and it does happen sometimes that disagreement arises and more than one ruling must be given. So the sitting judge, as the component stands now, the composition stands now, will still have to write. But the hope is that in future, as you suggest, only retired judges are designated for these positions, so that we don't suffer the challenge that has been suffered previously. Sorry,
I'm saying at least for the appeal body.
Oh yes, certainly.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And the second aspect relates to the capacitation of the courts, which, as you correctly pointed out, is affecting the delivery of the courts, you know, in terms of the norms and standards. It's affecting the efficiencies of the course. So my plea to you, and I know, and you correctly identified as your short-term goal, my plea to you is that if by the time you are appointed, that problem has not yet been resolved, you should please elevate it so that it's no longer your short-term goal. It's something that should be done immediately to avoid the collapse of the judiciary, because as things stand, the judiciary is already suffering in terms of achieving its constitutional mandate and achieving the standards that it has set for itself in terms of the norms and standards, especially pertaining to the delivery of the judgments. I know that the Chief Justice has made overtures to the executive in terms of, resourcing of the courts. But my plea to you is that if that has not yet happened by the time you take over, could you please ensure that it's something that you attend to it on your first day of work as the Chief Justice of the country?
If I take over, President, I've heard you. I agree with you. I agree with the sentiment.
Thank you, DCJ. Thank you, Chief Justice.
Thank you.